Okay. I think we have ourselves sorted as long as I sit upright. There. Hello and welcome to the Tiny Human Knits podcast, my podcast about knitting, sewing, crochet, cross stitch, and all manner of crafty goodness. My name is Laura and I'm coming to you from High Level, Alberta, Canada, where I live with my cat, who is locked outside of the room because she's not allowed in here because she will eat my yarn. She's been going through phases of either tearing balls of yarn apart, or lately she's started hoarding them in the corner of my closet, which was a funny way to find a skein of yarn that I thought had gone missing. Anyway, you can find me online as Tiny Human Knits everywhere on Ravelry and Instagram and here on YouTube, and I also have an Etsy shop called Tiny Human Knits, which is currently closed but will be reopening in 2 days on Saturday at, I believe I put it at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I will post it on Instagram and on screen once I figure that out. And where else can you find me? Oh, there is a Ravelry group for the podcast called Tiny Human Knits Podcast. I will put all links to all social medias and the like down below. And yeah, there is a group you should join. We've got 2 knit-alongs going on right now. I've got the Make From Stash Along, which is my own personal knit-along. That has been going since the 4th of July, and it is pretty much make something from your stash, from yarn that was purchased before the end of January 3rd. And it will be going for a year, and I've been drawing prizes, and I cannot for the life of me remember if I said I was going to draw another prize last podcast. So I will put that on the docket, I'll write it down on a sticky note somewhere, and I will remind myself, next time, draw a prize. I'm a part of the Not Rhinebeck Knit Along, and that has been going on since the beginning of July? I can't remember. Oh well. All the details, I have a Ravelry group, or a thread for that, that's specifically for all that information. I will put links to that down below. So it's pretty much, there is the online yarn festival called Not Rhinebeck, and that is a big group of makers who have come together, and they're going to do a virtual festival for those who either are going to Rhinebeck or cannot make it. And you can shop. There's going to be a lot of specials and a lot of deals, so if you are interested in that, there will be a full list of all people participating in my Ravelry, which again I will link to, and that's happening in October alongside Rhinebeck. So it's pretty much a make yourself a garment knit along or crochet along. I'm pretty sure someone asked me in the thread if crochet was allowed, and I don't see why not. As long as it's a garment for yourself, it's pretty much the same. So, I think that's all for administrative, except for I did announce a giveaway last podcast for this skein of Dragon Horde yarns, which is gorgeous. It is called Sea of Monsters, and it is on her Lore sock base. It's a fingering weight, 85/15 superwash merino and nylon, 100 grams, 436 yards, and it is gorgeous. So I locked the thread just before starting this podcast, and I drew a winner. So the post was winner number 54. That's how I wrote it down, so that's how I'm going to say it. And that is TV Angie, and that is Angie from Ontario. And the thread was how you like to do any sort of self-care, because at the time I was needing a lot more self-care. And thank you to everyone who left a comment on my last podcast. I am feeling so much better now. I am progressing, I think, really well. I think I've gotten over the worst of it. So if you're interested in that conversation, you can check out my last podcast. And also, I always forget to say, if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. And if you're a new viewer, hello. Here's your first warning. Move away. So, Angie, send me your details and I will get this mailed out to you. And I'm going to apologize now if I seem a little bit all over the place. I don't have any show notes, and I don't have a lot of time. So I'm trying to do this quickly, but not like rushed. Also, I have a tendency to talk really fast. So I hope that's all I have for administrative. I think. Okay, so I have 5 finished objects this week. And one of them I do not have with me. I brought it to, I went to visit my family in Edmonton 2 weekends ago, and I brought one of the sweaters that I had made for my nephew over there so he could have it, and I'm not entirely sure if he got it yet because I left it with my mom was supposed to give it to my sister, and I don't know if they've been able to meet up yet. So I don't even know if it fits. I kind of don't think it will because he is a long kid. And yeah. But I will put the information up here, and I can't even remember what it was called. I'll put the information up here, and if I have a picture of the work in progress, I will post it because I forgot to take a finished object photo entirely. So that's my first finished object. My second finished object is another baby sweater. This one I made for my cousin, who is going to be having her baby in December. And I made an itty bitty pretty sweater. And this is a sweater pattern by Maison Dene. I will put links down below, and it is a simple raglan top down with a gorgeous little lace detail down the front. I made the 1 year size because I don't like making like newborn stuff because they'll grow out of it right away, and she's having her baby in December, so anything I make newborn, I might still make a couple things just for her to use right away, but we'll see. And I knit this out of my own hand-dyed yarn. This is in the Wild Lettuce colorway. This is leftovers from my Zweig, the top portion, because I ended up with like 2 different colors. I don't know how. The bottom color is so muted, and I've compared it to my Wild Lettuce stuff now, and I don't know why it looks like that. But yeah, so I used the leftovers, and the reason it has short sleeves is because I had the second skein from my Zweig in the slightly different color that I was going to make the sleeves out of, but when I actually attached it, I didn't like the color difference, so I just shortened the sleeves, and it's a little t-shirt now. And it is gorgeous. I love it so much. Baby clothes are so quick and just instant gratification. So that is ready for her. I've got a couple different things that I want to make for her, but that is the first tiny little thing. So the next 3 things that I have are socks, because I've been doing some sample knitting, and also I've been doing some requests for socks. But the first one is purely for me, and that is a pair of Patons Kroy, and I believe this is the Brown Rose Marl. I am so unprepared today. Oh well. It's a Patons Kroy anyway, and it's gorgeous. It's got a bunch of mauvey pinks and browns. Here is the second sock. And I've got small enough feet, and I know this looks like it's a completely different size, but it's not. I have small enough feet that I can get a pair of socks out of the Patons Kroy 50-gram ball out of just one. But this time I wanted them just a smidge longer, so I used the contrasting, I think it was a West Yorkshire Spinners. The label came off of it, and I'm not entirely sure what it is, so I'm just going to go with that. So that is a pair of socks. These are for me. I haven't worn them yet because they've been on the blocker, so I will take the blocker off. And I can add this to my sock collection. And I adore Patons Kroy. It is some of my favorite sock yarn. It's sturdy, it's soft, it seems to last really, really well. I have one pair that I wear constantly, and it is delightful. So, I should have brought a drink up here because I am talking too much. I also have, you can't even see this, but I have so much stuff on top of my desk right now. And also, you can't see over here, this side of the room either. I've started packing, because I'll be moving at the end of August or beginning of September, and there's just stuff piled. But my second pair of socks is a test knit out of my new self-striping colorway, and I love it. This is called Loves You Not, and it is a 4-striper, and it is beautiful. I know, I'm tooting my own horn. This is gorgeous. I love it. It is 4-striper. It's got pink and peachy, cream and gray and a muted green. And I should have said with the other socks, I always do, I cast on with 12 stitches on each needle with Judy's Magic Cast On, increase to 56 or 60 depending on the thickness of the yarn. Sometimes it will go up to 60. And then I will knit 6 inches, start a gusset, do a heel turn, and then just knit until I think it's long enough, and then do a 2x2 rib. I used to do a 1x1 twisted rib, but I did realize that it does stretch out really easily. So I've started to do a 2x2 rib, and I'm actually really liking the way that feels. So that is pair number 2 and finished object number 4. And I totally forgot to even get out my last one. I finished this pair of socks, the last one, this morning, so I forgot to take them out of my bag. So these will also be for me, but also I'm thinking of just keeping them as a sample, just in case one day if I ever do shows, who knows. So the third one I haven't blocked yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to, because I'm giving them to the recipient tonight. So I might just do just like a quick spritz of water, just to even it out a little bit, and leave them on the blockers, because it is, it's pretty warm out. It's not England warm, apparently, but it is pretty warm. So this is the last pair of socks that I finished, and it is also a Patons Kroy. And this one is a gift for a girl I work with. She's leaving tomorrow. She'll be done work. But I love this color. I've wanted to knit a pair of socks in this color for a long time, and I thought maybe they weren't for me, but now that I've actually made them, I need one. So I do have enough left over to make myself a pair of shorty socks. And I will put the name up on the screen because I don't have the tag with me. So those are that. And she has the same size feet as me, so I used the same formula. I knit them a little bit longer than I normally do mine, although I am starting to knit mine a touch longer as well. But yeah, those are my finished objects. They're all little, but I like them a lot. I'm very happy with my progress this time. I know it's been quite a while since my last podcast, almost 4 weeks again, and I didn't mean it to go that long, but I've been so busy, so I didn't really get a chance to, but I've finished a lot more things, and that makes me happy. So, goodness, I really hope I'm not rushing. I hope everyone's well. I hope all of you are just having a wonderful time. I need to, like, slow down. I've got quite a few things to do before my shop update on Saturday as well. I've got to finish taking photos and uploading everything onto Etsy, and then I also have to, I've got a couple more skeins of gobstoppers that I need to wind up. Only 5, I think, and out of all of the ones that I have, I don't know if you can see them, but that top shelf is full, and I've got a bunch everywhere else, so there's just, yeah. So, on to works in progress. I've got a couple. The first one I will show you is on my desk, so I'll show you that first. I am knitting a pair of socks for a man with absolutely gigantic feet. He is another coworker of mine, and he really appreciates hand knits. His mother knits, so he has had a few pairs of hand knit socks and sweaters before, and he really, really likes them, so he wanted a pair, and I needed to do a sample knit of another one of my colorways, so I thought, why not? And it's in the colorway Nearly Nautical. This is going to be a new colorway in the shop on Saturday. I've got quite a few of these. And it is a 2-striper, and I am knitting a 78 stitch sock, which I have never done before, and I didn't think I was ever gonna do, because it's massive, and it's slightly tangled around my cord, so please ignore that. But okay, so this is the sock. My hand is open behind it. It is massive. So 78 stitches. I cast on, I believe, 16 on each needle with Judy's Magic Cast On, and then just increased until, because I measured his foot. I know how many stitches I get per the inch. I get 9 inches per the inch on a 2.25mm with fingering weight yarn, and I just calculated with 2 inches of negative ease, so it's 78 stitches. And this is all I have so far. Because I knit a pair and a half of socks in between. But also, I've got a stitch marker on here, Progress Keeper, and this is actually just from Michael's. It's a little llama pinata, and I'm hoping I'm actually pointing it in the right direction. I can never actually see what I'm showing, so I hope that works. So yeah, there'll be 7 of these going into the shop. I think 7. So that is my first work in progress. My second work in progress, and I have a kind of an acquisition with this one. Did I even bring it up here? I didn't. It's downstairs. I was holding it in this bag. I got this bag in an exchange from Blueberry Fields. She's out in Quebec, I believe. I sent her 2 skeins of yarn, and she sent me this bag, and it is so perfect. I love it so much. It's so me. And I've been taking this bag to work with like 3 sock projects in it every day, and I love it. But I did actually forget my other sock project downstairs, and I guess that's just how life is gonna go. So I will show that next time, although it might have been gifted, so I might have a video of that instead. But my other work in progress, I've made no progress on my Anushka sweater because I don't feel like it right now. So there's that. Oh, I just noticed Blueberry Fields also sent me this little notions pouch too. Super cute. So I cast on a new sweater because I wanted something easy and mindless, and it's been on my list of things to do for a while, and I've had the yarn for it, so I thought as I was packing up my stash I might as well start it. And that is a Brooklyn tweed pattern. No one is surprised. It is called Mossbank. This is not the front page. I don't know where I put the front page, but I will see if I can find a picture for you. It's in black and white, so you can't really see the details, but it is just a reverse stockinette plain pullover. It is seamed, and it's got a contrast cuff, hem, and collar. And I am using essentially the same colors they use in the pattern, different brands of course. I am using Patons classic wool in a cream color, and then my contrast is Dark Grey Marl, and I'll just show you the project so far as I have it. So this is the back piece, and it's all rumpled because it's been stuck in a bag for the last while because I've been knitting socks. So it's just really basic reverse stockinette. I probably should have cast on in the round instead, and it would have saved me a lot of trouble, but I really enjoy seamed garments, so I don't mind at all. And this is not the first time I've made something out of Patons classic wool, and I really like it. It's woolly and it's toothy, but it's still very wearable, and I'm not very sensitive to wool, so it's a good one for me. And that, I am the worst. That is by, if I took off the first page, I wonder if it's even, it's a Brooklyn tweed pattern. Well, I feel like an idiot. Nope, it doesn't say. So I took off the first page, now I can't tell you who the designer is. I'm a nice person. Maybe show notes would have been a good idea. That's what I could have done at work today. I feel like I have a lot more works in progress as well, but I think that's because I have been buying patterns like crazy and setting yarn aside for it. So mentally I have a lot more projects than I actually do. So I want to make a lot more summer tops, because there's a lot of really cute tank tops and lightweight. I know Boylan Knitworks just released another like t-shirt pattern, and I picked out the yarn for that already, so that's fun. Let me clean up here. Let's have a 10-second tidy. I'm sorry I don't have the background music for that. But I think that might be all my works in progress, because I haven't really been working on anything else. If I had any other projects from the last episode that haven't showed up, it's just because I haven't been working on them. But we can move on swiftly to acquisitions, because I do have a few of those, that's for sure. First off, I put an order in for from Wool Warehouse. Half of it's on the floor because my cat knocked it off my desk. So I ordered yarn for the, it's called the Twigs, and I will put a picture up here. It is a gorgeous, slightly oversized, very cozy pullover. It's color work all throughout, and I have wanted to knit this for a good while, and I didn't have, as all of us have the problem, I just didn't have the right yarn for it, so I had to order it. And it's technically a sport weight yarn that you're supposed to use, but I'm going to use a fingering weight yarn, and I ordered a West Yorkshire Spinners, and I ordered the 4-ply. And I'm going to have to see what the gauge is going to be like with this. If it doesn't work, I might just use my own. I have some non-superwash 4-ply that, not 4-ply, sport weight that I accidentally ordered instead of a superwash sport weight, so we'll see. But because this is a toothy sort of yarn, I'm hoping it's going to be okay. We'll see. We'll just have to do what Ellie of Skein Deer does and just deal with it. So I bought 5 skeins of this color, and I'm sorry if there's a glare, but this one is called, what is it called? Does it have a name? I don't know. Sorry guys. This one. I know they have them on the website, but I'm not seeing one here. And then it has 2 contrast colors, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be this cream color here and this gray. So those will go together very nicely. And I also thought, since I was ordering, as you do, and the shipping is so cheap, but I decided to order this one as well because I love mustard yellow so much. So much. So that was my wool warehouse order. Also, when I went to Edmonton, I went to Michael's, as you do, and my friend Taryn wanted me to buy some Patons Kroy yarn for her so she can make some socks for some of her family members and friends. So I thought, since I was doing that, I might as well see if there was anything I liked, because the Michael's that I usually go to has been getting really good with stocking all of the Patons Kroy colors, which it did not before. I can tell you, when I worked at Michael's, they did not. But she got a whole schwack load, and I got another skein of the Grey Marl, which this is one of the skeins that my cat hoarded away, so it's a little bit scraggly. And then I also got myself Mexicala stripes. So those are the 2 that I got. I love Patons Kroy. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. I already have a pair of socks like this, so that's an extra. And then I had to go to, I went to River City Yarns in Edmonton for a little bit, but there wasn't really anything, because I'm at the point now, especially the fact that I'm moving soon, I don't need anything. So I ended up buying my friend Taryn a skein of yarn because she's going crazy with yarn acquisition, so thought she needed some more. But I got myself just 2 mini skeins, and these are Richard de Vries. But this is just tiny little mini skeins that I can add to a blanket if I ever start one, hopefully at Christmas time. But yeah, so I didn't really need anything, so I just got myself something tiny. And I got myself another set of sock needles. And now I have like 7 pairs, so I think I'll be set for a while. But then I went over, this is starting to sound like a lot actually as I keep going on. I went to, there's, I think it's a town near Edmonton, and it used to be called Pam's Woolly Shop. But I honestly, I don't have the receipt here, and I don't know what it's called now. But it's in the same place. They just, the owner just sold it as is. And I got myself some yarn to make some mittens. And I have made mittens out of this yarn before. It is a Cascade 220 Superwash Sport. Nice and squishy. And I have made plenty of pairs of mittens out of this yarn before. And I love it. So I just got myself 6 skeins in very, very mitten-y colors. I feel like Skein Deer would be happy with these, except they're super washed. Sorry. So yeah, I just got myself 6, and I'm gonna make myself some mittens and maybe throw them on the floor and have a good time with it. So I've got a pair of a mitten pattern, or a couple actually, that I've designed myself that were just used as gift knitting before. So I'm just gonna see how they work up now and kind of just test it out. Who knows? Okay. I have one last acquisition, and it was a gift, and it was a lovely gift. And it is from Simone, and she lives in Australia, and she is Yo Ellie Handmade on Instagram. And she sent me a care package because she thought I could use it, and so nice. It certainly brightened up my life, that's for sure. She sent me a beautiful card, and actually this is what it looks like, so oh, very Australian. First off, she added 2 skeins of an Australian wool. This is 85% Australian wool, 10% acrylic, 5% viscose, and it is gorgeous. Naturals 8-ply. And I'm gonna make a hat. This is very hat yarn, and I really want one. And I have a pattern picked out, and I don't know if it's gonna need both skeins, but I need a hat out of this. Because who doesn't want a hat out of Australian yarn? I don't know. So that was the first part, and I want to cast that on immediately, even though it's like 30 degrees outside. And she also sent me 2 skeins of Patons, and this is a sock yarn. This is a merino print, so I think it's a self-striping. 4-ply, 80/20, 50 grams each, grown and made in Australia, so it's Patons from Australia. And it's gorgeous. And socks. It's gonna be socks. Because I need more socks. I've been making a lot of socks for other people lately, so I think it's time for me to make some for myself, and I think these will be super cute. Especially in the fall. These kind of like fall colors. So, there's that. Also, there was lots of chocolate, and it got eaten very quickly, because you know, as you do, if you're upset, you have a tendency to maybe eat a little bit of chocolate. And then she sent me a skein of Fiber Lily, which I have been a fan of hers on Instagram for the longest time, and I've never bought any because Australia shipping is, I know from shipping to Australia, it's ridiculous. It takes so long. And it's just, you know, you pine after a lot, and you don't get as much as you want. This is what it looks like. It is a one-of-a-kind. There is no colorway. It is an 80% Australian Merino superwash, 20% nylon, 420 meters for 100 grams. So it's a pretty basic sock weight yarn, and I love it. It is so pretty. This might turn into a baby garment for someone, but I'm not sure yet. But she sent me this, and she also sent me this. This is 69 grams, she's written on there. Just a little pre-wound, or she wound it up. I don't know if it's like leftovers or anything, but it is also gorgeous. It's very like earthy. This would make actually really good baby bloomers, you know, little pamper covers. That would be cute, especially for my cousin, because I don't know what gender it's going to be, so that would be a good neutral. But yeah, that was her care package, and it's so gorgeous. I love it so much. And I want to knit with it right away. I don't want it to sit in my stash for a long time, so I'm going to try to do my best for that. So yeah. I have done a couple of pre-recorded videos for my shop update, just because it's a lot easier to show a shop update with like holding the camera instead of holding everything individually. Plus, that would be a lot of holding things to the camera. I don't really feel like taking all that stuff down, if you know what I mean. If you're interested, I did clear off my shelving here of all my personal stash. This is all shop update. So I will be opening with a lot of yarn, and I'm very happy because my colors, I have a bunch of new colorways, a bunch of old colorways, and I hope you will find something you like. So I will insert the video here, or videos, there's a couple. There's some superwash fingering weight, some non-superwash sport weight, and a bunch of self-striping and self-striping kits. So I will show those all now. So for the superwash base, these are all the colorways that will be going into the shop on Saturday. I will start here. This is a new colorway. This is Plain and Simple, which is a cream base with very, very light orange and blue and very pale pink speckles. It's lovely. It's a great neutral. So that's a new colorway. And then I have Shrimp Cocktail. This is also a new colorway. This is all inclusive. It's got very pale sort of browny orange with some beautiful blues and some darker speckles with black and burnt orange. And then we have Deep Sea Diver. And this is one of my favorite new colorways. It is a deep, deep blue-green with some slight variegation, and it is gorgeous. This is After Dinner Mint. That's Just Great. Cursed. Wild Lettuce. And this is Wood Smoke. This is also another new colorway. It's very similar to All Inclusive, except it's got a lot more earthy tones to it. The oranges are a little bit deeper. The blues are a little bit more steely, and the speckles are darker. And then we have got Warren, Lulu, Victoria. This is also a new colorway. This is Single Serving Wife, and I honestly think it's the color a lot of my clothing items are going to be made of after this podcast goes up. It is a very, very pale mauvey browny color, and it goes with a lot of colors, especially Deep in My Cups. These two need to be something. Then we've got Written Instructions, Feisty Lilac, Fruit Loop, and Bullfinch. But yeah, so when it comes to this one right here, this one goes great with That's Just Great, Deep in My Cups. It also goes really well with Plain and Simple. But I will have plenty of these going up into the shop, and you can peruse at your leisure. So this update, I did mean to order a superwash sport base, but I accidentally got a non-superwash. So in the shop will be 100 skeins of non-superwash sport weight yarn, which is lovely. It's so squishy, and if you prefer a non-superwash base and want to be a little bit more environmentally friendly, this will be it. So the colorways that we'll be going up, I do have a couple drying still right now, so I will take pictures to insert here. But right now we have Plain and Simple, Shrimp Cocktail, Warren, which comes out a lot more muted on a non-superwash, a lot more blended. This is a new colorway. This is called Chalkboard, and That's Just Great. This is an old colorway, but it's been a while since I've dyed it, and this is Autumn Fog. Wild Lettuce, Deep in My Cups, which comes out a lot more brown on non-superwash. On superwash yarn, it comes out with a little bit more of a purple undertone, but the brown goes with a lot. And then this is All Inclusive, which again, with non-superwash, it's always a little bit more mixed together. Speckles don't come out quite as crisp, but it is still lovely. Written Instructions, and this is Fruit Loop. And I knit my breathing space in a non-superwash in the Fruit Loop colorway, as well as After Dinner Mint, and the speckles come out lovely when you knit them up. And I just realized this one I did forget to name so far. I will add a name to that eventually. And then again, Single Serving Wife. I dyed up quite a few of these on the sport weight because I think there's a few sweaters in my future in this color because it's gorgeous and I love it. It's perfect. So those are the sport weights for now. I do have, again, a couple drying, so we will see how those go. So yeah. Now for self-striping yarns that is not in a kit. I will start with this, which is Windbreaker, which is a 4-striper with 2 neons and 2 shades of gray. So I got a pale gray, slightly darker gray, a bright, bright pink, and a bright, bright green. And if anyone of you was a young person in the 90s, you will know why it is called Windbreaker. Everyone had a coat in these colors, so there will be quite a few of those. Then I have this one, which is called Nearly Nautical. It is a 2-striper. It's got this deep, deep blue, almost navy, and that's my cat meowing. And then we have the other stripe with pale tones of orange, with orange, blue, and like literally everything speckles. Let's see if I can get that in focus. Maybe, maybe. No? There we go. So it's lots of speckles. And I will have an example to show on the podcast. So I also made a little charm to go with that kit. Just a little anchor with a little charm at the bottom. So that'll be one together, and we'll get this to focus again. I will also have a solitary cummerbund. I made a couple of these, and then my friend Taryn likes to pre-shop my shop updates, so she took one. I will also only have one of these. I haven't named it yet, actually. I'll only have one, because again, she pre-shopped my update. And I can recreate Cummerbund. I cannot recreate this one because I forgot to write anything down. Second to last is this one right here, and I absolutely adore this colorway. It is a forest striper. We have a very, very pale peachy pink with a mauve color, a gray, and this gorgeous muted green. And I will also have an example to show of this on the podcast. And last but not least, I'm sure the one you've all been waiting for, this is Crazy Sock Lady. And I'm sure you've seen this on the Crazy Sock Lady podcast. I sent this to her a couple weeks ago. It is a forest striper with a dusty pink, that's my cat, purple, thank you, darling. She's being a baby. And it's got a gray and then sort of bronzy gold color. So I will have a few of these, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to sell out pretty quickly. So I do have 10 more skeins of the base for this. So if I sell it really quickly, I will do a pre-order for 10 more of these. So if you don't see any available, check out to see if there is a pre-order listing, and you can order it that way. So those are all the other self-stripings, if I can get into focus. So here we have all the kits that will be going into the shop on Saturday. First off, we've got our Gamer Girl kit, which comes with a bag, sock-sized project bag, 100 grams skein of self-striping yarn, and a coordinating mini skein, and it will also come with a red and a green stitch marker. Then we have only a few of these going into the shop. It's the Marauders Map Harry Potter kit, comes with 100 grams of self-striping yarn and a sock-sized project bag. And then I've got these gorgeous Goldilocks, that's the word. So they will come in blue and pink. The pink will come with this colorway, and the blue will come with this one. There's going to be 4 of each colors, and there's going to be 2 different sets. So the one is going to have this lining fabric, and will come with a 2-ply tightly spun yarn, which I don't know if you can tell here, but this one is slightly smaller, and that's a slightly higher twist. And then the second set will come with this color lining, and will come with a slightly plumper 2-ply. And the plumper 2-ply will come with the blue coordinating, and then the more tightly spun will come with this yellowy green coordinating mini skein. And those are all that are going in. There'll be plenty. So as far as life stuff goes, I honestly am not entirely sure what I can talk about. I have been keeping myself really busy. I have been trying to socialize a little bit more, hanging out with friends a little bit more, especially since my fire season is coming to an end within a month, and a lot of the people are leaving before me, so it'll be the last time I'll get to see a lot of these people, because not everyone comes back every year. I will be coming back for another year next year, so hopefully that I will be able to see a bunch of people that I worked with, but that is the plan so far. I have started packing. I will be moving, as I said, at the end of August or the beginning. Actually, no, I'm working till the end of August, so beginning of September. But I'm still not sure of the logistics of that, so it's going to be a bit of a slog, so we will see how that goes. But yeah, I am feeling actually pretty darn good lately. I've been feeling so much better. I think I've come to the point in my situation where I have separated myself from the event. Not trying to like push it away and pretend it didn't happen, but just like gotten over the worst part, and now I'm to the point where I can live my own life very happily. So it almost feels, I don't know if this is media telling you you're supposed to be like depressed about it for however long, but like, I don't know how to describe it. It's been made apparent to me that it's not a great loss. Anyway, without going into too much detail, I can do better. So that's all I need to know. Okay, I think that was it. This is so rambly. I can't believe it. It's gonna be so bad. I have a lot of work to do, so I should probably go. I'm meeting up with a couple people. I need to give someone her socks. So that's something I need to do. Should probably have a shower because it's really warm in here, and I haven't had the window open because this window doesn't have a screen for some reason. I don't know why. So I think I will do that. If I have forgotten anything, I might post another like end of video because I feel very discombobulated. So I probably forgot something. I'm sorry if this was the first video you guys saw of my podcast. And yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I reached 2,000 subscribers on YouTube the other day. So I will be drawing a prize. Not drawing a prize. I will be showing a giveaway prize next podcast. Hopefully it won't be too long. I'm moving, my work schedule is changing to having every weekend off, so I might be able to have a few more before I move. So I will announce next time what giveaway prize will be, and I will open it up to submissions. It'll probably be YouTube comments and not anything on Ravelry because it is YouTube that I'm getting these subscribers for. So tune in next time if you want to see what that will be. I will put together something special, put something aside from the shop update maybe. So yeah, I will post this and then I will see you all very soon, hopefully. Alright, have a good day. Bye! So this is the project that I totally forgot to bring up into my office. It's just a simple pair of socks. It's a 64 stitch sock and I'm knitting it out of this opal that's looking pretty ratty because it's been in my stash for quite a while. And yeah, it's a gift or sort of a custom request by a girl I work with, 64 stitches, and I'm just going to be knitting a huge long tube so I can put in an afterthought heel, and it's being kept in this adorable little bag. This is by Stitch Mischief. It's a small drawstring bag, and I have my little tape measure in there, which is kind of overweighting it, but also this pin was given to me by my gorgeous cousin Jennifer, and I love it so much. It is a cat in a box, which is pretty much explains my life in entirety, so it's adorable.